Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Whitson, and I'm one of the founders of Bomvida Farms and the farm to you stores that a lot of people in central New Mexico know about. Something that we have recently launched within our own stores that we run is a project that I was working on many, many years ago, but was maybe a little ahead of its time. And we have kind of repackaged that into a slightly different platform that we think will help us achieve our mission, not just to provide a robust economy for local food and farms, but also all local small businesses and retailers. Anyone who's done retail knows how hard it is. We unfortunately chose grocery, which is probably one of the harder retail industries to work in. And so this is something that we built not only to help our own business thrive, but also to work for the greater good of mom and pop businesses in your community. What we've released is we still use the same business name. It's called FencyPay. And the reason we call it FencyPay is that we basically generate rewards off of purchases that you already make. And so if you shop at a local merchant that is in the FencyPay network, you actually earn a 5% bonus on that sale. So if you spend $100, you get five as a bonus, and that gets deposited in your wallet. But the fence in FencyPay is that we actually put GPS coordinates that are attached to your bonus. And so that bonus is only valid within a 5-mile radius of where you earned it. So if you earn it at our farm to you store on Manal, then you can use it at any Fancy merchant within that a 5-mile radius of our Manal store. And if you get almost right up to about the Rio Grande or west, it won't work. And so we designed it specifically to enhance local economies and local purchases and try to get customers to go into local stores more often, because when a consumer logs in, they can see their balance, but they also can see the stores where they can shop and how much they can spend at each store. And so the way that we like to explain FencyPay is that it's like a digital version of a punch card that you would use at like a coffee shop or a sandwich shop, where you punch out the little, if you buy 10 coffees, they'll punch a hole each time, and then when you get 10, you turn it in and you get coffee. Technically, that's currency. That little card with 10 holes in it is considered currency, at least to the coffee shop owner. Now, the problem with that is that you go and you hand in your card when you've done your 10 and you get a coffee, but the business owner takes that card and throws it in the trash, because at that point, it's can't be used again. Fancy Coin and Fancy Pay on the network works the same way, except that when the merchant accepts Fancy Coins and Fancy Pay, it's not thrown in the trash. It can be used again. So the next time someone comes in and earns a reward, instead of the merchant having to create a Fancy Coin, we pull it from the merchant of ones that they've taken in, and they get to reissue that to the customer with their GPS coordinates of their store attached to it. So the rewards aren't just locked into that original store. Technically, they could move across the country 5 miles at a time. It would take a long time, but it could be done, assuming there's enough merchants in between, where it starts and where it ends up. So that's essentially, in a nutshell, what FencyPay is. And so if you are a local consumer, then you want to start keeping your eye out for FencyPay merchants. And also look for the QR code. You scan it. You'll enter in your checkout information. The merchant will verify it, and then you have the rewards right away, and they do not expire, and they're valid within that 5-mile radius of where you earned them. You could use them at that same merchant again. You could use them across the street at a bookstore or a pizza shop or a movie theater or any other merchant that happens to be on the FencyPay network, and you will see the orange signs that we put up that have the QR code on them, and those are specific to those stores and to be used during that checkout. And that's how you keep track of what you earn and what you spend. You'll scan the same code if you want to use Fancy Coins instead to pay for a purchase, and the merchant gets those. So whether you're a consumer or merchant, we've specifically designed it to be more sustainable and more fluid and better for the consumer, but also better for the merchant than typical rewards program. And the great part is that it doesn't require a lot of work on anyone else's part. We've already done the heavy lifting of keeping track of everyone's balances and where they can be spent on the network. So we really look forward to people trying this out. Right now, it is only at our Manal store and two of our stores that we run in Belen that are actually right next door to each other. Our Pack Post Ship store, which is our retail packing and shipping store where we do copies and business services and FedEx and UPS and all that stuff, and at our Farm to You store in Belen, which is right next door. And so that's our initial launch right now as of the 11th of July. And we're going to start adding merchants. I assume some of them might start coming to us. And we've already started adding consumers. The first customer onboarded themselves at the packing store in Belen while I was there, like putting up the signs. And so we walked them through it and showed them some things and kind of training the staff at the same time. So totally new thing. I'm really excited about it because obviously it's something that's been rolling around in my mind for coming up on almost a decade, and something that we started working on years ago, but just didn't work out. And we think we kind of have a better handle. And of course, we have our own stores that we can test them in live and make updates as we need them and deal with bugs and anything that comes up in the software. So I look forward to you giving us your feedback. If you have any questions or problems while using the app, and when I say app, it's just a website. There's nothing to download. It's very secure, and it's actually quite simple on the front end for the merchant and the customer, but super complicated on the back end for us. But we've already kind of taken care of most of that. So if you do have any issues or questions, or are thinking about signing up as a merchant but not sure, you can still go ahead, and the site is live, and you can go to FencyPay.com right now, FencyPay.com, and consumers and merchants could sign up right now. And then we provide the signage for you and handle everything in the background. And right now, we don't even have payment set up, so we're not actually charging for it. We're trying to get through the bugs and any kinks that might show up. But eventually, it'll probably be something about like $19 a month per merchant. And then there are fees with the transactions, but only the first time. Once the Fancy Coins in the network get paid for, they move around from merchant to merchant for free. As long as you stay on the FencyPay network. So after the initial coin has been generated and paid for by the merchants, then once it's moving around, it does so for free with no transaction costs. And so we're basically building a community currency that can't leave. It can't be sent to a foreign corporation or another state or another city because of the GPS radius that is attached to each earning. So looking forward to get feedback. And just reach out to support@FencyPay.com if you have questions, comments, concerns, errors. We really look forward to getting the feedback and seeing if this is a way that we can benefit local economies, whether economic times are tough or not. So thank you, and we'll see you around. Bye-bye.